I'm getting ready today and I wanted to do a full face of just my tried and true favorite products because I know I've been slapping you in the face with new makeup reviews. I know, it's what my channel is about, but today I didn't want to film with anything new. I wanted to dig into my collection and I just wanted to put on makeup products that I really like. So that's what I'm gonna do. I want my makeup to look nice today. I want to give some products that haven't gotten a chance to get recently used. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just tried and true, long-term favorites, nothing new, trustworthy stuff that has been there to stick around. Now, for my skin prep already, I'm gonna talk about my current morning skincare. As you know, my acne has been crazy over the last few months with pregnancy. So in order to combat that, to get to where we're at right now, I had to literally take everything out of my skincare routine and start adding in one by one to learn what products work for my skin with my hormones going crazy right now. And about 90% of my skincare doesn't work for me, but this is what does. So of course I've been talking about Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream, the best moisturizer in the world. Lightweight, good for all skin types, doesn't have any fragrance or anything like that, just really nice for hydration. And then I've also been using the Kiehl's Eye Zone treatment for eye cream, also really nice and lightweight, use it all over. And then the SPF that my skin loves, and I like it because it doesn't make my skin feel heavy or sticky or oily. It's expensive, but oh my gosh, is it worth every penny. The Caudalie Daily Mineral Sunscreen SPF 50. Now that has soaked in for a little bit now, so I do want to refresh my skin because it's been a couple hours. I'd gone outside and gone for a walk in between doing that. So to add some fresh hydration, some fresh glow, I'm going to use the Natasha Denona Hygiene Skin Glass. This is like a priming serum type situation, and it leaves the prettiest glow to the skin. I know Natasha has launched, that new foundation, the new palettes, but this is a product in her line that I really, really love and don't want to go forgotten about because it's really hydrating and leaves the most gorgeous glow behind as well, just to build foundation on top of. So it's really nice if it's been a bit since you've applied your skincare to rehydrate the skin with this. Like, look at that. So pretty, so fresh. You already know my favorite brow gel in the world, Rare Beauty Eyebrow Gel. So I'm just gonna run this through my brows to give it a nice shaping. I like to do this before I put on foundation because as you can see, it is rolling over my skin, and if I had foundation, it would mess up my foundation. And then I just take a spoolie or something to clean up the areas that might still have some product so it doesn't disrupt the foundation I'm gonna put on top, which is one of the best foundations you can get at Sephora. It is the Dior foundation stick. No, I am not sick of this foundation yet. I slowed down on talking about it because it was, for a bit there, the only foundation I was talking about in my videos. But just know my love for it is still going strong, and it is one of the best foundations on the market. And definitely if you're looking for a good new foundation to try for the Sephora sale, that should still be going on. Not only is this foundation amazing and you will love it, but Dior never has sales. So this is not going to be discounted on Black Friday on their website, Dior is one of those brands where if you want anything from them, you should get whatever discount you can get, even if it's 10%, because you're not going to get that from the Dior website. And normally I do encourage purchasing from the Dior website just because you get cool gift with purchases and stuff, and the experience of it all is nice, how it comes boxed and wrapped. However, Sephora sale, that rule goes out the door because you can get a little money off. So second skin in a stick is how I describe this foundation, and I'm using a BK Beauty, by the way, 116 to blend this in. I told you there's just, this is one of the best. Dior always does a good foundation. And then to fill in my eyebrows, I just want something nice and small since the Rare Beauty does such a good job of shaping my brows already. So I'm just gonna fill in those sparse areas with the Kosas Brow Pop Nano. This has one of the most fine tips that you can find on the market, which means you run through it fast. So that's the negative about this. However, it's just perfect for lightly filling in the brows. So just a little bit. I didn't need much filling in at all, but this just kind of cleans up everywhere in a beautiful way. Really natural, but it still leaves my brows looking quite full. We're actually already going to move on to the eyes just in case we get any fallout, because the brand that I'm using is known for having fallout. But I was thinking when I was pulling my products, what is an eyeshadow palette that I have not worn or used on my channel in a while that is still beautiful, still high quality, and I'm debating between two, but I was so inspired because I recently purchased the mini embers from ABH, and I was like, you know what? Let's go back to an OG, but then I saw the Cosmos and I liked it. And I was seeing what palettes they still had at Sephora. They have really cut down on the ABH palettes, but they still have the classic soft glam. And I really want to use it, but also the Cosmos is more fun for this time of year. I can't believe they still have it. And this palette was underrated and it's stunning. I think I'm going to use the Cosmos. But soft glam was an option. Actually, no, I'm lying. I'm going to use soft glam because you might have it. So this is your sign. Pull out the soft glam if you haven't used it in a while. I'm re-inspired by that mini embers palette that I bought during the sale. But I was like, let me pull out an old ABH palette because it's been a while. I want to give that formula some love. So I'm just prepping my eyelid. I'm using the Thrive Cosmetics eyeshadow base primer. Pull it out if you have it. I want to play with the rosy pinky tones today because I think it will go really nicely against my gray sweater, which I wish I had pulled something that would have gone a little bit better with the warmer tones in this palette, because this soft glam palette is a little on the warm side, but 'twas a sign of the times. But I used this in my makeup kit when I used to do bridal makeup because obviously it has amazing bridal tones. Some of these names: Orange Soda, Tempera, Dusty Rose, Sienna. So classic for ABH, even though we're just doing the rosy tones today. Let's dip into Mulberry. I don't think I used Mulberry too often back in the day. I mean, this is not a new palette, you guys. By all rights, should be expired, but it is working out fabulously. Just putting this in my outer corner. I'm trying to keep the look updated and modern and not give 2016 vibes while using this palette that's probably from and purchased in 2016. My gosh, which is already almost 2026. But like I said, if you have this palette, this is your sign to bring it out because it is still such a good one. Flat shader brush. I'm taking some of Rose Pink here. And I'm just going to press this all over my eyelid. Beautiful. Small pencil brush. I'm taking some of Tempera, which is just a matte vanilla. And I'm going to brighten my inner corner with this shade. And I'm going to bring back a little bit more of Mulberry in the outer corner. I'm taking one of my favorite pencil liners at Sephora right now, the Makeup by Mario Master Pro Pigment Pencil in the shade The Perfect Brown. And I'm going to tightline with this. And I'm also going to smudge this along my upper lash line, one eye at a time. Get a little wing going, just an extension. Really, nothing else crazy. I'm going to take the tip of a small brush shaped like this, go into Cyrus Umber, and kind of blend that over top of the liner and slightly smudge it / soften it, but I don't want it too smoky. How beautiful! I'm loving. We're not done with the eyes, but we're gonna move back into complexion. I like to do the top portion of my eyes first in case I get any fallout, which ABH is notorious for, but we didn't this time. But I am pulling into a luscious creamy concealer, the Tower 28 Make Waves concealer, right? That's what they call it. No, it's the Tower 28 Serum Concealer. The Make Waves is the mascara that I like. This is such a buttery, delicious Yummington concealer. BK Beauty A506. Going to push this in. Now, the concealers really haven't been knocking my socks off this year in terms of the new products. So I've really mostly been using old faithfuls. Recently, you know, I've been loving Westman Atelier. The House Labs, of course, is phenomenal. NARS is a classic, but I also really love this Tower 28. This was a love at first use kind of product. I knew right away that this was it when I tried it. So good. I haven't talked about it in a while, but we are still loving this. Then to get a little bit of contour in, this is a phenomenal shade, a phenomenal contour stick from Dior as well. This is the Skin Contour Stick in the shade Light. I'm gonna use my 106 from BK Beauty and just pat this under the cheekbones. As you can see, it's more of a true contour shade, so I'm just gonna use that for under my cheekbones and then along the jawline as well. Phenomenal. If you have cool skin tone, you'll really like this color. I pulled a warm powder bronzer to use over top of this to actually bronze the face, but I just wanted that little bit of shadow here. I love this. It's like a drier cream, so it has this staying power of a powder. So I like to use this to contour parts of my face as well. Just get a little bit of color in the center of the nose. Just wiped off my BK Beauty brush. For cream blush, should I use this shade? Should I use, ooh, definitely this one. This is the LYS Beauty Cream Blush in the shade Focused. Just a really beautiful, easy to use, very emollient if you're familiar with LYS Beauty cream formulation. They have one of the creamiest formulas on the market. Bronzer, foundation, blush. It's all super duper creamy to the point where sometimes I feel like it's too creamy. But that being said, how beautiful is this blush and how beautiful does it look with today's simple eyeshadow look? Oh, I love this. Was a good choice. Focused. So pretty. Everything is sitting on the skin. So nice. Great choice. I'm taking my concealer brush and I'm diffusing the edges of that cream blush as well as re-blending everything out on the under eyes because we can start going in with powder now. I love my powder. Now, you know Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder is my #1. However, I do really like for a full coverage moment the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Soft Blur Setting Powder. This is also a very good one. Since I am always talking about Huda Beauty, I was like, let me give another very good powder some love. I was between this one and the Laura Mercier, but I was like, Mario, you need some love. I'm going to show you the side by side what this does to the skin. It's kind of incredible. Look at that. Completely blurred over everything, and it really sets it in. This is a great one for longevity. It has more body to it, so I think if you have oily skin, you would also really enjoy this powder. But I have dry skin, and obviously it is still a favorite of mine. Now he pulled together very good powder that I don't really talk about that much, but it's so good. Anything left over, I'm kind of putting under here. Let's get some bronze on the face. I'm using one of my favorite luxury bronzers, YSL All Hours Hyper Bronze. I have it in the shade 02, and it's just like silk, the application over the skin. It doesn't get patchy or splotchy at all. And then this is adding that warmth to the face that I was looking for. But you see how quick and easy the application was? Just using a What's Up Beauty R204 to apply that because it's not too heavy, so it doesn't pick up too much product. But that right there added the perfect bronze. And let's go ahead and finish our lower lash line. Not doing anything too shocking. I'm going to go back in with the Makeup by Mario brown eyeliner in the waterline. I have this pencil brush with nothing on it. Just gonna blend that out. And now we'll go in with a little bit of Dusty Rose on this What's Up Beauty pencil brush. A little bit of Cypress Umber right on the very tip here, keeping it just a little tighter to the lash. That's so good. And then one of my favorite powder blushes to go on top of a cream blush is this from Say. It's their Super Suede Radiant Blushes. I'm going to use the shade Mia, which is just a really gorgeous glowy rose shade to complement that cream blush just a little bit because this cream blush is still showing through. I just want to lock in that color with a little bit of powder to make sure that it stays for the rest of the day. Oh, this is such a pretty rosy look. See, a lot, products do matter, okay? Like, yes, the person applying the makeup matters as well and the tools you use, but the products make a difference too. And then for highlight, one of my favorite highlights at Sephora is the House Labs. I'm just gonna use peach quartz. I don't have a pinky one. I wish I did, but this formula is so beautiful, it will be fine. I don't like a cream or liquid highlighter. I'm only about powder highlights, and dare I say, I think highlight, which also went through a not as popular phase, I think it's coming back. And this House Labs one is so beautiful and fine. The OG highlighters, the ones that have been out for a few years, are way better, I feel like, than the new ones coming out. And then to finish off Complexion today, I'm going to use one of my favorites. Since I did use a lot of powder today and I do have dry skin, I'm using the Rare Beauty Always an Optimist mist, which is really, really nice on the hydration front. So let's spray this. As you can see, it is well loved. I definitely am gonna do some falsy action, aka false lashes. So I'm just gonna use this mascara, which is very, very nice, from Makeup by Mario. This is his Master Mascara. Focusing it mostly on the lower lashes, and then I'm gonna use one of these guys from this Kiss kit to give us a good look. Eyeliner and lashes. They are so key. Now for lips, I went with Charlotte Tilbury lips because they're my favorite. So I'm going with the Lip Cheat in Love Trap. I feel like this one has just enough brown to go with the brown liner on our eyes. I love this lip liner. It's such a good color. Then I actually wanted kind of a light colored lip. So I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in Icon Baby. It's just such a pretty color. It has glitters in it that I hate, but it is such a pretty pinky rosy lipstick that's not too peachy like a lot of Charlotte Tilbury colors can run. I'm like wondering, should I put a gloss over top? I mean, it's beautiful as is. The lipstick has a nice glow to it. We could do a Pat McGrath lip gloss. You know, I've always been into these, but they became very popular again because they had their viral moment with Pat McGrath. So let's see, which one do I want to do? Let's do this milky colored one. This is Aphrodisiac. Pat McGrath does have such an amazing gloss formula. This particular shade is closer to the eyeshadow, so it actually pulled it together even more. Oh my, yes, so pretty. Look at this look, you guys. Such a beautiful, rosy, look using nothing new, just tried and true good quality products. And since all of these are amazing quality products, there was no way this look wasn't going to turn out stunning. Well, thank you guys for getting ready with me today. I hope you were either having a meal, hanging out, also getting ready with me. But I just feel like I know I've been talking a lot about all of the new makeup, especially with the Sephora sale going on. But what it made me want to do was play with makeup from Sephora that I really love, that's maybe not considered new, so it's maybe a little bit boring that you might have forgotten about, but just to show you, I mean, this look is stunning, so don't forget about these. I'm gonna say forgotten, but you know what I mean, forgotten products, because wow. And these I can stand by in terms of wear time and everything, because I've used and worn these products so many times, and I love the rosy look that I came up with. It's a little bit more dramatic for the winter, but still very soft and modern. And if you take the lashes off and the liner, you can get it to be even more fresh looking. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. As always, I'll have all of the products that I use linked down below, as well as tagged in YouTube shopping. I hope you enjoyed a good old classic Get Ready With Me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.